Well, hello. On a smoky afternoon here in Prunedale, we can hardly see across the canyon. The visibility is so bad. Still, a thank you goes out to all those firemen and men and women who've been fighting this fires all over the state of California, and hopefully some clearing soon as well. Well, I hope you're doing well. I hope God is blessing you during this time and that you continue to laugh a little bit. An older gentleman was working out in the gym and he spotted an attractive young lady. He asked a nearby trainer, "What machine should I use to impress that lady over there?" The trainer looked up and down and wrinkled his face, and he said, "I'd try the ATM in the lobby." A young boy listening closely as the rabbi read the Bible. "May I ask the question?" he asked. "Sure, go ahead. Ask your question," the rabbi replied. "Well, the Bible said the children of Israel crossed the Red Sea." Rabbi goes, "Mm-hmm." "The children of Israel built the temple." "Mm-hmm." "The children of Israel spent a long time in the desert." Rabbi goes, "Yes." "But the children of Israel did this. The children of Israel did that. Didn't the grown-ups ever do anything?" You know you're having a bad day when your twin sister forgets your birthday. Or you know you're having a bad day when your birthday cake collapses from the weight of the candles. You know you're having a bad day if you have to sit down to brush your teeth. You know you're having a bad day if the bird singing outside your window in the morning is a vulture. You know you're having a bad day if the doctor says you're allergic to chocolate. Oh my goodness. You know you're having a bad day if you call your spouse and you tell them you'd like to eat out tonight, and when you get home you find a sandwich on the porch. I'm not picking on anybody, but I do kind of like redneck jokes. No offense here meant. You might be a redneck if you've been married 3 times and you still have the same in-laws. You might be a redneck if you think the woman who is out of your league bowls in a different night. You might be a redneck if you wonder how service stations keep their restrooms so clean. You might be a redneck if any member of your family died right after saying, "Hey y'all, watch this." And you might be a redneck if you've got more than one brother named Daryl. All right, I'm done with the jokes. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what God knows and how he knows the best for us, and what Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 through 8 has to say about it. Again, Proverbs chapter 3, you can look it up, verses 5 through 8. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding." Oh, you mean I'm not smart enough? "In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body and nourishment to your bones." Leaning. Yeah, leaning. In this aspect has a sense of putting your whole weight on something, resting on or trusting in a person or a thing. God knows what's best for us. We must trust him completely in every choice that we have to make. Do you do that? Lean, trust, or rest in him when you have burdens or decisions to make, and especially when life gets too difficult for you, and it sometimes does during this COVID pandemic. When I was a manager in the National Weather Service, I tried to put a good team around me. I sometimes did what others thought whether I agreed or not. I needed their advice. It wasn't always what I thought was best, but it helped me make better decisions to get their feedback and input. Do you trust God in decisions that you have to make, especially during this COVID pandemic? The Message translation says it really greatly. Listen for God's voice in everything you do, everywhere you go. He is the one who will keep you on track. Don't assume that you know it all. There it is. Nope, you don't. To receive God's guidance, said Solomon, we must acknowledge God in all of our ways. And I hope you'll do that in your life. Take a look at your values and priorities. What is important to you? In what areas have you not acknowledged Him? Do you have those little areas where you keep silent? What is His advice? In many areas of your life, you may have already acknowledged God. But it is in the areas where you attempt to restrict or ignore. Mike also always talks about it being these little rooms where we close the book on the checkbook or we close the book on our language. We ignore God's influence, and that's going to cause you some grief. Bring your decisions to God in prayer. Use the Bible as a moral guide, and then follow God's leading. Then He will make your paths straight by both guiding you and protecting you. He will guide you in all you do because you will be working to accomplish His purpose. Make those changes in your life and your actions will measure up to your attitudes. Stay close with God this week. I remind you again that we will be holding services at Main Street this next Sunday at 9 and 10:30 and at Padre at 6:30 p.m. And I do have a secret for you. We are also going to try and begin Padre services at 10:30. Yes, 10:30, not 10:45, 10:30 on September 27th. The question is, how many of you will be there? I hope you all will, because we're coming back strong and we're coming back worshiping the Lord. So I ask God to bless and keep you. May His face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may the Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you His peace. Stay with God. Go with Jesus. Take care.